In the challenges that are facing our city, our state, and our world today, it's time that we as Native people take our place at the table and share our love and wisdom with the world. And I am so honored to be a part of this city under his mayorship. It's profound, again, making my first trip to City Hall and seeing the artwork and seeing the culture inside this building, so reflective of the diversity of our city. And I want to thank the mayor for being the first and only mayor in the entire United States to host a celebration of this size and caliber to honor our American Indian community. So, for those of you that might have grown up in Oklahoma or a culture, native culture like mine, please join me in Luluing. Come on, girls. I need some more whoops too, guys. Okay, Mayor Anthony of Villaraigosa.
Thank you so much, Kimberly, for that introduction and for being such a strong advocate and voice for the American Indian community, particularly in the area of entertainment. It is important that in the entertainment world that we not just be depicted in the negative ways that we often see entertainment depict us. They should celebrate our heroes, our triumphs, our many, many people who have overcome great obstacles to great success. Thank you so much. Give her a big hand. I was saying to Andrea right now, she asked me, I think a little before that, was I okay? And I said, yes, I'm okay. And I think she saw us serious. And whenever we begin with a prayer and the music, there's something about that I think causes us to reflect. And you know, a lot has been said of the fact that I'm the first from my community in 133 years to be elected mayor. And I've always kind of downplayed that. I say I may be the first, but the role of the first is to open up the door for the rest. But what isn't mentioned, and I look out at all of you, is that I too have Native blood. Because if you look at the color of my skin, my family, some of them were from Europe without question, from Spain, but some of them were from here. There's no question about that. And when we remember the connection that we have to one another, it does cause us to reflect on a world that seems to think sometimes that it began, you know, with the arrival of the European settlers. And in fact, the history on this continent began much before that. And so today, I stand in solidarity with all of you to declare November American Indian Heritage Month here in Los Angeles. Kimberly mentioned, and of course you know, that we have the largest Native American community anywhere. That's true for states like Oklahoma, Arizona, New Mexico. I was coming up a few minutes ago and someone mentioned to me, you know, Mayor, I'm going to be with you when you run for governor. And I smiled and I said, thank you. And I said, but I love being mayor because this is a city-state, a state with 4 million people, and a city, state that is the most diverse. And we celebrate these heritage months because oftentimes our history, our cultures have not been acknowledged and celebrated. And we know when you travel through Los Angeles, you see our native roots in streets like Cahuenga, Topanga, and Tahunga, streets named after the first people who lived here. But our American Indian Heritage Month is not just a history month celebrating distant time. It's a celebration of a culture that thrives today. I love seeing the young kids who you're teaching the native dances and the customs and the traditions. Because be clear, when our kids don't know their history, when they don't know their triumphs, when they have no heroes, they don't have the compass that they need for the future. And so it's beautiful to see these young people celebrating those traditions, those customs. We need to cultivate that to make our communities strong. And the voice of this community is heard loud and clear in so much of what I believe makes LA so great. This city is a city that celebrates its diversity, that recognizes that its strength does not come from the economic might of this city. Its strength does not come from its port or its airport or the many businesses that make this a strong, vibrant community. Its strength comes from the people. Here, we acknowledge that we come from many different places, but we come together and we celebrate that diversity, and we acknowledge the contributions of all of us, and we say that our children will be able to triumph in this city because we acknowledge here that we should judge all of us as individuals based on the content of our character, based on what we're able to contribute, nothing less or more. But the Native peoples give us, as was mentioned earlier today, and Kimberly said it, a set of values that for too long we haven't respected. A value of respecting Mother Nature, of preserving open space, of protecting our waterways. Really the Native people who understood early on that when you protect those precious resources that God has given us, you're preserving and protecting them so that your children and their children and their children can also enjoy those fruits. This is a value that for too long was not respected or cherished. You also have always understood that the role of those who've been blessed is to and nurtured and taken care of when they were young is to care for their forebears, their parents, their grandparents, particularly when they're infirm and they're sick. That's a notion that we too often in this country neglect, don't value. And so today we acknowledge American Indian heritage. We acknowledge our honorees as folks who keep the American Indian community shining brightly with a vision of solidarity and respect.
much. I hope you all enjoyed our
Thank you.
Thank you, David, family.
Kind of like a Mexican hat dance.
I'll watch you.